Hi everyone and welcome back. I hope you're doing okay. So far we have done pretty awesome, I think. We've managed to make kind of something that at a glance, I mean from this far away, like a new squint, it looks really advanced, so you should be really proud. We're kind of learning about 3D modeling and things, and very soon we're going to start moving on to how to add some textures to this and make it start to look pretty cool. And we're actually going to switch over to a different application to do that, which is you're gonna love it. It's fine. But what we want to do is, before we do that, we just want to polish this off a little bit and make sure that it's okay. Now this isn't in terms of kind of adding more detail necessarily, but it's more about just making sure that it's optimized properly. It's going to work in the next processes that we're going to do correctly, right? Now, if we were making this for a game, one of the main objectives would be to reduce anything that we're not really using, because the computer's got a lot on, right? Like if you're playing a game and you're trying to get 60 frames a second out of it, and you've got 50 enemies in a scene, all of that, and it's just trying to process all that at the time. Removing a couple of bits that we don't really need, we don't see, is important. For us, it's not so important because we're just making a little bit of an animation. But sometimes we get some visual errors that we might need to deal with on different parts, and we just want to make sure that we're doing okay, and that these errors won't come back to bite us in the keister. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at this base, right? So that was the first thing we made, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to isolate this so that I can just see that and nothing else. And to do that, you select an object and you press /, and now I've only got that. And don't worry, we haven't deleted everything, it's still there, and it's still visible. If we press / again, it comes back, right? So just practice that a couple of times. Right, we're okay. So if I press tab to go into edit mode, it looks okay, right? It kind of looks maybe like it could be a birthday cake, but it's fine. But one of the big issues is what we call an n-gon, which is this thing and this thing, right? Now, computers, especially computer graphics, like freeze and force, okay? Don't ask me why they like freeze and force, they just like freeze and force. It's not what this video is about. And here we can see that this face, if we go to the point mode, has 1, 2, 3, 4. So this face it likes. This face has 1, 2, 3, 4. It likes this face. This face has 1, 2, 3, 4. It likes this face. This face has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? I think it's 32. It doesn't like this face. This one is the same. It has all the way around. Too many faces. Now, whilst at the moment that looks fine, it doesn't look like it's a problem. When we start to do some UV unwrapping and texturing, Blender isn't going to be super confident on how best to apply the textures and how best to shade it. And that's all to do with normals and things like that, which you can go and have a look about if you want, or pop me a message and I can always do another video on it if you like. But what we know for a fact is that that's going to cause us some problems later. So let's delete it. Now that doesn't necessarily solve the problem, because now we've got a different problem. But if we go to edge select and we alt select this, so we're going back to our roots here. If we press F, it will fill it, but that's not what we want because we've got another n-gon then. So we're going to go E to extrude some new data. We're going to go S to scale, so we haven't moved our mouse at all. And then we're going to press 0 and then enter. And what that says is along this loop, so let's just go back. So it's going to say along this loop, I'm going to press E to create some more. I'm going to press S to scale. I'm going to press 0 to put the scale all the way down to the middle, and then I'm going to put that there. Right? So now we can see that this face has 1, 2, 3, which it likes, and this one has 1, 2, 3, which it likes. So now, instead of being one big shape that it doesn't really know what to do with, it's got lots of little ones that it can handle reasonably well. And here we can do this one, but we're not going to, because we're not going to see it. So there's really no point in faffing around adding a lot more information to here when we're not even going to see it. So this one is fine. This one, because we are going to see it, isn't fine. Now we have one last problem to solve. Because we had all of these selected when we extruded them, it created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 32 points. And then we moved them all into the middle, which means if I grab one of these and move it, it doesn't affect the others. So even though it looks like there's only one dot there, we actually have lots and lots of different ones. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take all of those and we want to merge them into one. So we're going to press A to select everything, all A, and we're going to press M for merge, and we're going to go all the way down here to say by distance. So that says if there are any vertices within a set distance of each other, which is going to be really, really, really small, so basically touching, then let's just make them the same. Right? If they're in the same place, they may as well be the same bit. And if I click by distance, you can now see removed 31 vertices. Okay, but it still looks the same. So if we click on that now, you can see that they now all move because they're all connected to this one. And that is now beautifully optimized. So if we come back out of isolate mode and we'll click on these and we'll do the same, we'll go into isolate mode, we'll have a little look. These aren't too bad actually. We've got this here, which is a bit of a to deal with. We could kind of add a load of edge loops in and, you know, kind of play with that. Probably wouldn't be super efficient. We could try and triangulate this face. So let's do that. There we go. So they kind of all now do this. That's not ideal, is it? Because we now have this one big triangle. But it's okay. That will do. It's only a little foot. And we can see that these are fine. Let's just try and see what this will look like if we bevel it. So I'm just going to come up here. Which one is it? This one. And I'm just going to put cavity on so I can see some of the edges. Plus it makes it look cooler. And I'm going to go to here and I'm going to search bevel. And just going to go play with these a little bit. Looks okay in there. And set up the segments. Oh yeah, that looks better. And yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. And we'll just. So the mesh is still okay. It's not brilliant. We haven't fixed anything under here because we can't see it anyway. There's no point. And these are okay. And because we apply the transform, that all works fine. So let's come out of there. Yeah, look at that. That's looking cool. And now this one. And shall we join these? Let's do it. Let's find out along the road, shall we? So I'm going to just select this one, and this one. And I'm going to press Control J. And now you can see that they are all one object, right? So I'm just going to change that to RoboArm or something, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can see that my naming conventions all over the place. Now, this isn't like a Boolean when we lost some of the bits that were intersecting. If we go to wireframe, we can see that look, all of this is still very much in there. But it just kind of, it means that we can just edit it as one object. We can see that like this here is in the object, so we might not want that. Might just want to bring that in there. That one's okay, but let's just grab that and bring it a bit there. Cool. So I'm just pressing Z to do that, by the way, but you can go up here and you can flick through them as well. Okay, so because we left it nice and simple, there's not a lot really that we can change here. I mean, we can change anything we want here. I would probably recommend dealing with these in the same way that we dealt with this. So we could either delete that and then ES0, enter. So we get something a bit more like that. That kind of makes sense. But let's just do, so I just Control Z did that. I actually like the idea of pressing I to insert a little bit, because I think that looks cooler. And then extrude inwards a little bit, just so we can kind of, yeah, that looks a lot much better, cooler apparently. And now I'm going to delete that one. Select this, make sure you've got the inside one, not this one. And I'm going ES0, enter. Yeah, so you can see it looks a lot different sort of than it did, but actually when we go back to our object mode, it looks a lot better. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes doing that. So I did I to insert, E, and then put it inwards. So normally we extrude out, but I'm just going to put it in a little bit, and then I'm just going to delete that face, and then I'm going to Alt select this one. Okay, make sure you haven't got anything else. ES0, enter. There we go. That looks okay. That looks okay. We'll do it up here as well. So I, and should we have these smaller? Let's make these smaller and go in a little bit. We'll delete that and get that ES0. Yeah, definitely. We'll cook in here. So smaller. It's not going to be exactly the same, obviously, but that's okay. And then in, and delete it, and then we'll go ES0. Okay. Now that's looking good. It's looking nice. These could probably use some work, but I can't be bothered. We've got more work in other areas to do. So if you want to have a little play with this, that's absolutely fine. Just try to make sure that you are sticking to your squares and your triangles where you can. So we tend to have squares on squared shapes and triangles on rounded shapes. And make sure that whatever you do before you move on to the next video, press A, press M, and do by distance, because that just got rid of 124 vertices on these little round bits. Okay, and that's going to make a big difference when we move on to texturing. So well done if you managed to get this far. We are now done with the model in terms of the actual 3D modeling of it, and we are going to move on to UV unwrapping and texturing. Now if you don't know what that is, you are very naive, and I envy you slightly, but if you do know what it is, then you know what's coming. So well done, and I'll see you in the next video.